feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Welcome back, everybody. Had a great show today with Neil Johnson from Lawrence Evans and Company. It's just been a joy to have you on. We've been trying to do this for a couple of months, and some COVID stuff and holidays got in the way, so it was great to have you up finally. And learned a lot about Neil's space. I think a lot of times people think mergers and acquisitions naturally, but there's a lot of other things that Neil's organization does and how they help clients specifically, which we'll get into here shortly. But I'll let Brenda kick it off with our first question.
Great. Well, it was a good interview. I encourage everyone to listen to the whole show. But can you give us a summary? Your business is, I think, very niched, very interesting. But can you give us kind of a high-level overview of exactly what Lawrence Evans and Company does?
Great. Thanks, Brenda. Phil. Neil Johnson, managing partner, Lawrence Evans and Company. We're a little boutique, healthcare-focused, mergers and acquisitions, capital raise, and restructuring. Work with small middle market healthcare providers and service companies nationally, typically entrepreneurs in that first-time institutional or situations, maybe buying partners out, maybe looking to take some cash off the table or ultimately sell.
Great. One of the questions that Brenda had during the podcast, which I think was really, really important, is I think when people are thinking about exiting a business, it's always at the 11th hour, right? And tell our listeners when should you start planning and why?
Yeah, sometimes we're working with business owners and trying to set up a plan and schedule, and then next thing you know, they said they received a phone call and decided to sell. So it's important to start planning early because there's tax implications, maybe legal implications, and of course, decades or even generations of wealth building. You want to make sure you know all your options and can maximize that, whether it's getting your books in order, or whether it's your family trusts or other partners. It could take not only weeks, months, or even years to prepare it. So it's always good to have some leadway time. Things change, pandemics, other situations you just don't know. So it's always good to be planning, preparing, making sure that you have the information, the data, maybe even potential buyers, and work with professionals, bankers like ourselves, lawyers, accountants, wealth managers in terms of setting that up. But a typical process shouldn't take more than 3 to 6 months. But I think there was some stat out there that the average transaction takes 1.6 to 1.8 years. I never believed that myself, but we've had a few, unfortunately, not our fault, that has dragged on for 3 years or even 5 years. So there's always different factors, and planning to achieve your goals definitely takes some time. It's like in sports, you want to set those goals and work hard to achieve those goals, and you work hard in building the business. So make sure that you're rewarded and plan accordingly.
That's great. Thank you.
So you have a pretty big event coming up, Memorial Day weekend, that I believe is called a summit. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're excited. Second annual Healthcare Capital Markets Innovation Summit here in Columbus. We're trying to bring the capital, the private equity, family offices, lenders, venture capital to Ohio and Columbus. They're investing here, but as the flyover state, we're trying to get them to stop here, do the deal making and networking the week of Memorial Day, the week of the Memorial Golf Tournament. So an attraction to come on in, network downtown Columbus, a couple different events, but healthcare focused, everything from physician groups to health technology, digital health, real estate, as well as moving on to life sciences. A lot of cell and gene therapy developments in Ohio. So
that's great. I'm excited for it.
Sounds great. Well, if you enjoyed the show today, make sure you like and subscribe our YouTube page, Shrimp Tank Podcast. And to catch all of our shows, you can go to shrimptankpodcast.com or catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you're listening to your podcasts. So from all of us here in the tank, have a great week.
I've been feeling like a shark